Yes. Peetle the Weetle Baker Marsh III. On the occasion of your birthday, I feel it is time to review our story up until now. It was way back around the turn of the millennium that we first met, spending an evening together in Farringdon, having not been able to get into a trendy London nightclub. I was hungry for people getting more out of life, and you were clearly doing just that. A light went on that night. From there, countless hours have been invested in living the arse out of it, creating a databank of amusing stories, the likes of which I hope everyone has, but I fear they do not, as all around us are somewhat stiff, squeaky souls in desperate need of life's good lubricants. Speaking of which, a person's first visit to 45 Hewitt Road back in the day could not fail to leave an impression. A person's first weekend party there probably served to recalibrate that person's brain. The people made the house a welcoming, open hub for London's cool, and also a place of many worthwhile lessons. The simple mechanism by which the high friction types would be tolerated, then simply not invited back, was one I took note of, leading by example there, a vital lesson in patience for a hothead like me. The Essex family stronghold left a more lasting note. The eccentric, ramshackle appearance gave way to what it most definitely was, a place of creativity, mutual trust, respect and love. The blueprint for the atmosphere in which to raise a family. Reg would recount stories of listening to Winston Churchill on the radio, giving him the belief that it was impossible for the Allies to lose against the worst anger the world will hopefully ever see. This connected the dots most powerfully for me. While your mum showed the natural curiosity, wisdom and brave spirit that has become the Baker family trademark. It hasn't all been easy though, has it? Some elements of family life conspired to provide an endurance test that would have buckled lesser men. All tests, from where I have been standing, have been handled in a logical, mature and calm manner, making you and Ruth easy people to admire. The 2003-2004 exploration of Morocco was a brilliant plan that came out of the blue, and a real point of getting to know each other. We are very different people, very different skill sets, but on that particular mission, we seemed to pack an extraordinary amount of adventure into a modest time frame. Our curiosity for the world is matched, and that trip was exactly what one should do with a spare fortnight. For me, people living life can easily become dull. They get a job, they try to get a better job, they talk of career progression and things that I simply don't care about. That is why I sit up and take notice when someone comes up with an interesting plan. Things found another gear for me when you decided to put it all down in a book. You had something to say, and I simply thought it was a good idea that you say it. Now, your family tree is punctuated by a creative work that will last as long as human civilization. Long after you are dead, people will be able to get a grasp of the world in 2005 and who Pete Baker was. It is said you die twice, once when you actually cark it, and then again the last time someone says your name. Through the production of The Jolly Pilgrim, the planet stands to have Pete Baker around for some time yet. Now to present day. We are living through a time of somewhat troublesome phenomena. Previously well-judged folks are losing their minds, dragging their anchors, running aground and letting their oil spill out everywhere. Offended by what is and overly invested in what might be. Messy. Our continual back and forth explores nuance, complexity, trade-offs and progress. That golden skill of seeing and analysing both sides of the discussion, concentrating on what might work rather than what sounds good. and the realization that the harder road to travel may be the most valuable in the end. My hope is that if it works for us, eventually more people will notice and adopt a similar foundation. Alongside that, we find ourselves with the next generation to raise, convincing them that in a world of cheap credit, woolly nonsense and flashy band-aid fixes, that the old words are still the best of all. If we want the power, Pete Baker, then we must do the things. It is as simple as that. I look forward to another year of things done. Happy birthday, Pete Baker.